Hello, good evening or good afternoon. Actually, it's good afternoon. Guys, I just wanted to um, talk with you briefly about Crypto Talks today, Wealth Wednesday, guys. Wealth Wednesday. Listen, there are some interesting news. CNN, um, that CNN came out about the information about Jeff Bezos, who has stepped down from Amazon. Guys, that is some interesting news. And I wanted to just sit and share with you, my thoughts about this and what does it mean for the e-commerce world and e-commerce space as we know it today. Okay. Of course, Jeff Bezos have decided to step down, and here's a little bit of information. I guess the gentleman who also um, that he's been helped him create Amazon for over 27 years ago. He's gonna become his successor. So we're just it's interesting what's going to happen, as far as the world of Amazon. How is it going to affect, Amazon stocks? As I checked today, Amazon stocks are up um, right now. So, you know, what does that say for the overall consumer or the vendor or the person who actually have a partner or affiliated with Amazon to sell their product or house their products? For those who are on Instagram, please join me on Facebook and YouTube right now as I go ahead and close this live out. So make sure I'm on here right now at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please go there. It's going to be my first and last name for Facebook and also for YouTube. As you go to my YouTube profile, join me there. I see you, the critic Doro. I'll see you that you joined. So please join me there and let's talk about um, some things in the stocks and the crypto space. Talk to you soon. Okay. Yeah, so I just had someone on Instagram. So I mean, what does that say for the overall consumer that purchase or also have their business that are affiliated with Amazon? Okay. Well, honestly, I like to introduce to you um, the fact that in this space that we called the digital space or the new age of technology and e-commerce, that we begin a transition. We at some point, we figure, well, I figured that this was going to happen with Jeff Bezos, but although he stepped away from the CEO and foundational side of things, he's moved more into executive chairman. So which means he's still going to have some input in the movement of Amazon. However, it's just going to be interesting to see how the cards play when it comes to whoever the new successor comes in. What ideas or ideologies or strategies that he's going to have for that company, and how does that basically put you in position to leverage that. I was just in Clubhouse with the queens of cryptocurrency, which some of them are my partners, my wealth partners in IML and Rich University, and iMarkets. I'm sorry, IM Academy. And we were talking about, and I posed a question about, the new breaking news about Jeff Bezos stepping down as the CEO of Amazon. And, two words that came into the conversation. One was perpetuity, and the other was tokenization. That's going to be very vital and key to look out for. As we purchase things right now on Amazon, I'll be honestly, I when I worked for the corporate world, I worked as an account specialist, and Amazon was actually one of my accounts that I handled. And the fact that I understood that company kind of, not, I wouldn't say inside out, but I understood the B2B process, the drop ship process, and because that's basically the position or the requirements or the job that I handled was actually getting those orders out. So I was more so on the plumbing side of things. So anytime, there was an order that came through for a tub or any type of bathroom fixture, um, I actually handled those processes and how those things came into play. That our system and Amazon system had to talk with each other, and that's what you call B2B or B2C. But in this case, it was B2B, so it's business to business. Okay, so there were uh, programs or technology programs that were designed to allow those two worlds to mesh when it came to processing orders. Okay, so that means if Amazon we would have a what is called an inventory, or yes, our inventory that their machine or their processes were able to read and see what inventory we had available. And when their customers will place a order on their website, Amazon then, who already have access to our inventory, will already have that information placed on their website to say we have X amount of these in stock, because they were reading from our inventory data. Okay, so in that case, that means if a customer would get on Amazon and they will purchase something, Amazon already has a depiction of the inventory and the data that we have, and that way their system, they would send over what was called an 850 to speak to our system in order to grab that particular item. We would then talk back to Amazon's system with I want to say an 855, and talk back to their system and let them know that this has already been placed in order. We've already ordered. This has already been placed in queue to be shipped to the customer. And then we'll send what is called an 856 to say that this has been shipped and this has been processed, which means it just indicates to Amazon that the item has been shipped to their customer, which is interesting, right? Very, very interesting. So the process of being able to be in that process and process those, and curate those orders were very, very interesting to me, because anytime I because I knew their system so well that anytime anyone else in my stead or in my place, if I wasn't there and they worked on their orders, you know, Amazon was so well oiled until if you had a maximum of maybe 3 orders, or a certain amount of orders that didn't get placed or was wrong, the company itself would shut the account down. And that is so true. It would shut it down, which means we would have to um, automatically through automation explain why this happened, why was this process stopped in the middle of the ordering process, or if someone was to key something in incorrectly, that would just throw the trajectory of the whole ordering process off. Sometimes we would get, the account would get shut down for that. When I say that Amazon was um, it was the it was extremely strategic, and their processes were extremely strategic to a T, that every piece of data, how the data was formed, how the data was created. Um, if any of that was thrown off, then we would have to come to an agreement or have to come to the table in order to talk about how to make this process better, or basically say, don't ever do that again. If my customers are ordering something from you and it doesn't get placed, or this happens in the middle of transaction, basically we'll shut you down and never do that again. Interesting. So now, fast forward back a couple of years later, now that, the company's CEO has stepped down and decided to relinquish his CEO duties and allow someone else to handle that. It's going to be very, very vital, here within the next couple of years, how that goes and how that comes into play. Now, and the reason why I say this is because the platform that I'm a part of, which is I Am Academy, we also offer the e-commerce package. And what I say about that is, if either way that you're able to make money or create wealth for yourself, this is a platform that you can utilize. We've taken the stance of analyzing the markets. We've taken the stance of understanding how the cryptocurrency space is moving, but we also have taken in account to how e-commerce has changed within, I would say it's even created an even larger platform within this entire year, and partially due to the pandemic. So how can you guys be a part? How can you position yourself to be able to leverage the fact that we don't know exactly how things are going to play with Amazon, but how can you get in position to begin your own version of Amazon? That's a great question. It's a great question. Well, I encourage you to meet me tonight at 9 p.m. Yes to Forex.tv, because we're talking about e-commerce and the e-retailer business. See, guys, even now as we speak, a lot of things are brick and mortar stores are being done away with. We just heard, here recently, now you have a couple of Macy's stores that's going to be closing. Now people are probably going to be forced to go and order things online. But how do you make those processes, especially when you're ordering apparel or, things like that nature? How does that how does that come to play when it is apparel that you're ordering, especially from, Macy's? I get it that, certain things that we order may not necessarily come in the way that we want to, or how come in the way that we order it doesn't fit the way it looks online. It doesn't always fit the way that we see it on our bodies. But I see, with this coming into play with Amazon, we're going to start seeing more, probably even more than ever, more e-commerce stores, or more e-commerce processes coming together, and even innovation with as far as how they sell their products and how they display their products on their website. So I encourage you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to meet me on www.yes2forex.tv. Yes2forex.tv. And we'll talk about, how we can offer the service of e-commerce business for those who want to start an e-commerce site. We have the tools in our platform that allows you to capitalize on making money in the e-com space. So, there's just more than just cryptocurrency and foreign exchange. There's e-commerce, a great way. Don't leave no money on the table. None whatsoever. No money on the table. Get all that you can get, at this time that we're in. Digital is the way to go. Everything is going to be digital. That is the space that we're moving to right now, is digital. So I want to invite you. I wish I could pull up my screen, um, to share my screen so that I can show you my back office on how the ECX works. So just give me a second here. Trying to see what I can, what happens. Let's see. If I'm not able to do it, I might just come back a little bit later, and probably within the next hour or two, and show my back office so that you guys can take a look at um, how that actually looks when it comes to the e-commerce space. But I want to offer that, so to you guys as well, to something to think about, as you think about how you want to move forward when it comes to um, starting a new business. You can put anything on this particular e-commerce business, and we show you the tools on how to set that up. And it's set up just as if it was, competitive to Amazon. So again, I thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm gonna try to come back and see if I can share my screen, to talk about and show you guys the back office, because I've never really done that on this space right here on Facebook. I've always do it on my Zoom. So just bear with me, and just, stick with me and let me, figure this out. I tried to, pull that up, but we'll figure it out. But yes, listen, think about the many ways that you can implement many streams of revenue. Think about that. Right now, we have the opportunity currently in the program or the platform that I use, that we're also using high frequency foreign exchange trading, where we're in trades for 1 to 3 minutes. I mentioned about e-commerce, e-com. That is another stream of revenue that we could build upon. I haven't even set up my e-commerce site. Now I think I'm going to go and start working on that. But we have access to the foreign exchange market, where you're trading in these markets. And also, just to go back to HFX, HFX allows you to trade commodities and indices, the US 30. So listen, when you talk about top stocks, you have the opportunity to trade in those stocks, and leverage that, and leverage it to the fullest. Okay. So I'm just thankful, right now, that we have a platform that allows you to do so many different things in so many different capacities. That's, Forex and DCX, which is digital cryptocurrency. How does that space even also in tune that with the e-commerce world? How we're going to be able to leverage and pay, our e-commerce site, or go online and shop with Bitcoin. All these things are so vitally important as we move into these new dimensions of the digital network. So I encourage you, get on tonight with me, and I think I'm going to come back on this afternoon and see if I can show my back office, so I can talk about more of these things in depth, and show you, the great benefits that we have in this space, and how I am so excited and so glad that, I'm a part of a rich community, and a community of other like-minded traders and investors, that we're able to utilize this entire space. So come and see me a little bit later, and I'll be back soon. Thank you.